Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the New Eden Newsroom. I'm your host, Theodred Alabel. We're going to go over a few major news items here today, starting with an update on the Skill Yourself Legacy conflict that's been ongoing. We're then going to talk about the Perimeter Keepstar and what's been going on there. And thirdly, we'll talk about how a test move-op goes awry in LoSec. Starting off with an update on the Skill Yourself Legacy conflict. Backed by popular demand, there's been a lot of skirmishing going on back and forth between the two groups. On January the 25th, a skirmish broke out between Skill Yourself, who was supported by Scourge, and Legacy, who also had support from the Drone Regions Federation. The fight originated on an Astra house that was anchoring in the system of ZMV-9A in Tenerife. Skill Scourge forces formed Munins and Macarials, while Legacy was in Ferox's with the DRF support fleet in Ishtars. Legacy and the DRF support fleet were able to win the objective, destroying the Astra house at 22:05 Eve time, about 45 minutes after the fighting broke out. The butcher's bill for this particular engagement stands at about 26 billion ISK lost. Skill Yourself and Scourge forces lost 17.78 billion ISK of that in the attempt to defend the onlining Astrahus. On the 27th of January, the groups clashed again, this time in the system of YTAC FZN5 in Amencia. The fight went down over Skill Yourself Astrahus that was coming out of reinforcement. Legacy formed in Ferox's, and once again the DRF formed in Ishtars to support, while Skill Yourself and Scourge formed a combined Nightmare fleet to defend the structure. Despite having a significant numbers advantage over the defenders, Legacy could not maintain the attack on the structure and decided to withdraw from the field. Skill Yourself, however, had other plans for this Ferox fleet. With sabers already on the outgate the Legacy fleet would take, they bubbled up that gate to catch this fleet, preventing them from simply landing and jumping through. They then proceeded to light a Sino and drop an Erebus on the fleet, who proceeded to boson them. A video of this particular battle was captured by NER's own Adan Dimaloon, which you can see on our Reddit post or on our website post. After the dust settled, over 33 billion ISK had been lost. Legacy lost 31 billion ISK in the attempt to reinforce the structure and extract from the field. The most recent engagement occurred on the 29th of January, when fighting broke out in the system of DDI-B7 in Impasse over a tackled Legacy Rorqual mining vessel. Inner Hell landed initial tackle, and a support Loki fleet was there chipping away at the Rorqual's shields. Legacy Coalition responded swiftly by lighting a Sino. While members were instructed to only jump in carriers, there were some trigger-happy individuals who proceeded to jump their super carriers in as well. Skill Yourself then proceeded to light a Sino of their own and countered these supers with a Dread Bomb and additional support of a Munin fleet. With very little fact support to mitigate any incoming damage from the Dreads, 8 supers that jumped in along with 12 carriers and the token Logi Rorqual that had jumped in with the group were dispatched with relative ease. The tackled Rorqual died shortly thereafter. The fight in total lasted about 51 minutes, with Legacy losing a staggering 147 billion ISK, including the 2 Rorquals. Skill Yourself just lost over 500 million ISK exclusively in sabers and their Sino Atron that unleashed the trap. It is understood by NER that Legacy knew about the Skill Yourself fleet that was around and about, but did not put 2 and 2 together until it was too late. This has been a great conflict to report on, and the content has been great, and the fight's even greater. Stay tuned, NER will be posting in-depth analysis on some of these battles in the near future. We'll keep you in the loop as the situation progresses between the groups in this conflict. Up next, an update on the Perimeter Keepstar. On January 26th, Northern Coalition and Pandemic Horde set out in Ferox's initially to defend the Market Alabel reinforcement timer. After the timer went uncontested, however, the forces then proceeded to reinforce the Keepstar owned by Test Alliance. Please ignore in the system. Test undocked their fleet of Dominixes and Nestors to defend the structure. However, this effort was not enough, as the structure was able to be successfully reinforced, with the defenders losing about 42 billion ISK in the defense effort. The armor timer was set to come out on the 28th of January around 1700 Eve time. However, Pandemic Horde and Northern Coalition used this opportunity to reinforce the faction Fortizar that Test had dropped in Owajin, allowing for the Keepstar and Perimeter to repair without any fight. NER will keep you in the loop as things develop in both of these systems. And finally, the Test move up goes Orion Losec. On January 30th, around 0110 Eve time, in the system of Harober in Molden Heath, Test Alliance, please ignore, lost an Avatar Titan and a Nyx supercarrier to snuffed out forces during a move up. It is understood by NER that there was some level of miscommunication present, as Test thought that they were safe to move through the region without any issue. However, Snuff saw it as an opportunity to drop on them, since there are no formal agreements between the two groups. While Test did reach out to Snuff to make sure that they were friendly during the move up, it is believed that Snuff thought that this was in regards to a different conflict that was going down in the nearby system of Amamake. So shortly after entering the system, Snuff took the opportunity and dropped on Test, dropping 35 Titans, including 4 faction Titans, 7 supercarriers, and 19 dreadnoughts on the Test fleet. The fight only lasted about 32 minutes, with over 123 billion ISK lost. Test lost 119 billion ISK in this move up. In a comment to NER, an unnamed Test FC had this to say, "I guess we will never trust Snuff again." In other news, brought to you locally, Red Alliance is set to leave period basis. One of the least reported stories right now is the mass transfer of SOV in the region of period basis from Red Alliance to Good Swarm Federation. It is understood by NER that Red Alliance wanted to move out of the region and sold it off to Goons. They are anticipated to be moving into the region of Curse. Kids with Guns Alliance loses its SOV in Fatabolist and Omist. Due to failing to pay Test Alliance Please Ignore, Kids with Guns Alliance will be losing control of their SOV in Fatabolist. Reasons for the failure of payment from Kids with Guns is unknown at this time. However, some believe that this may be tied to a CCP announcement that they were going to take away botting ISK from groups. This may have led to Kids with Guns being unable to pay their bill to Test. And now on to the kill of the week. This kill goes to the pilot Vendetta 568, who lost his Erebus in Pureblind in the system of A8IC5 on the 29th of January. It is understood by NER that this was meant to be a bridging titan for a Darkness fleet that was coming to contest an Astra armor timer in the region. However, after the Sino was lit, rather than bridging the sub-capital fleet, the Titan pilot accidentally jumped into the system. The locals, however, were quick to respond, tackling the Titan and rage-pinging for assistance. Iron Armada and free-range chickens were able to rage log in ults and drop dreads on the tackled Titan. Darkness was quick to try and mitigate the damage, warping a Mauler onto the grid, which proceeded to light another Sino of its own to bring through 4 dreads and a couple facts. While they were able to bring in some additional support, the effort was too little, too late, with the Titan dying around 0541 Eve time. The total ISK lost for the skirmish stands at over 150 billion ISK, 130 billion of which was lost by Darkness in their effort to save their Titan. Making matters worse, sources informed New Eden report that the Titan was brand spanking new, approximately only 8 days old when it died. That is what makes it NER's Kill of the Week. And finally, as a final reminder from CCP related news, tickets have started going on sale for the different EVE meets for the EVE World Tour in 2019. Be sure to visit the EVE Online website and check for ticket availability for the EVE meet of your choice. Tickets will sell fast. We look forward to hearing all about your experiences at the EVE World Tour in 2019, so make sure to get your tickets sooner rather than later. One last thing, would you like to write for a New Eden report? Maybe writing isn't your thing, but you're a hotshot on Photoshop. Or maybe you just like going and doing amazing videos. If you have any of these skills to lend to our cause of unbiased journalism, then hop onto our Discord and pitch your idea to the editors. If you want to join our Discord, you can go and check our Reddit post, which has a Discord invite link to you. So please join the Discord and reach out to us today. That is it for the news in New Eden. Thanks for listening to another episode of the New Eden Newsroom. My name is Theodred Alabel, and until next time, fly safe.